Buongiorno everyone, I am currently in Milano, Italy, but I did see my story. Thank you so much for all the votes. I noticed that you wanted all, the self-belief and the self-worth, so I'll give you my version of the story. Self-belief, I have by the bucket load. It's like pouring out of my ears. There's just so much of it. But why? Now, in my opinion, I believe it started from birth. I was born with congenital diaphragmatic hernia, which is a hole in your diaphragm. I actually have an amazing scar. You can see it all the way there. So all of my organs, like my stomach, my liver, my kidneys, were actually up in my rib cage, crushing my lungs and my heart, and apparently I came out panting like a dog. So I was sent to Princess Margaret Hospital for emergency surgery that 1 in 3 infants survive. I do believe the rate has improved now as medicine advancements have gone up, which is fantastic news, but I had Dr. King save my life, and I had medical professionals tell my parents that I would never do sport. So there is like the first knock. Then I had my mum tell me I can't do things. It was like, no, Olivia, you can't do that, but without a good explanation. And I did it. And so I think inside myself, I proved that I could. So now we've got 2 experts telling me I can't do something, but I did. And then I think the third knock was gymnastics was like my world, my passion, my everything. And I had elite level coaches tell me that I'd be too tall for the sport. Now I watched the Sydney Olympic Games, like this. There's a TV, there's my face. And I noticed a gymnast named Svetlana Korkina from Russia, and she was 165 centimeters tall and the tallest female gymnast I'd ever seen. And I looked at her and I said, if she can do it, I can do it. And so I think in my child brain growing up, because from the ages of 0 to 5, 85 to 90% of our brain and our neuro pathways are formed. Isn't that wild? Like thinking and learning, speech, motor skills, emotional skills. So I think within that period, my little brain was like, had people tell me I can't, but I did. And that's why I think I've always had amazing self-belief. Like in my head, I'm like, I can do anything if I want to. But the self-worth. Now I believe self-belief and self-worth are completely different. I had, yes, I can do anything I want to. And then the self-worth was, but do I deserve to? Now why did I have such terrible self-worth? Again, let's go back to the young years of birth. I was actually born into a very gender-biased family. I have a legacy family of Vivian's Plumbing that started like great-great-great-grandpa. It was heavy. I haven't expressed this publicly. Now, according to my mother, when my grandpa first came into the room and saw me, he said, "Where's my grandson?" So that's the kind of family I was born into. And then the words that you pick up as a kid, like you're not good enough, you can't do that. I believe that my experience doing elite gymnastics with Russian and Romanian practices and coaches, the lack of like English and the communication in the gym, hearing words like no, you're not good enough, squeeze your bottom, you're too fat. I think growing up in that, training 6 days, 34 hours a week, hearing those negative comments with not a lot of positive reinforcement, I really think it weighed on me. And there was a scenario that happened at an international competition. It was pretty full on. Came home, told my teammates, told the program psychologist, and nothing really happened. Nothing was done about it. 17 years old, and I think that was the moment where the lack of action done around my safety, I think that was the moment in my mind that I started thinking I wasn't enough. I wasn't worth fighting for. I wasn't worth believing in. There was no validation, there was no follow-up. Never heard anything back. But yeah, I think for me that's just put on a massive handbrake around my self-worth as a human being, as a woman. I carried that for a long time. And when I learnt that I was dealing with self-worth issues, I sat in it for almost 2 years. 1, I just didn't think I was worth fixing. And 2, I went to blamed First of all, the program, the managers, the people in charge of child safety, but I was very fortunate to have my brother hear me speak, and he led me to some pretty amazing people maybe 2-3 months ago. They helped me take that handbrake off. The feeling was unlike anything I've ever experienced before. It almost felt like this shackle that had weighed me down for so many years was finally removed, and it changed my life. So this is a very long video. I am aware. Thank you for listening. If you have anything else you'd like to know about myself or my life, or just the human behind the Ninja Warrior that you see on TV, or behind the Olympic gymnast that you've seen in the past, feel free to ask, and in the future I'll just be sharing as openly and honestly as I can. But much love. I appreciate you all. I'm not sure how to end videos yet, so I'll just awkwardly make poses. And